Namaskar. Welcome to NCERT's live and interactive session. My name is Amit Ranjan and you are watching PMA Vidya channels 6 to 12. You are also watching us on YouTube channels NCERT official and PMA Vidya channels 6 to 12. So friends, we are doing this series called Transformational Teaching for various classes, in which we cover the new textbooks of these classes and speak to experts about it. So currently we are doing Transformational Teaching class 6, and today in the final session for class 6 we will discuss social science, and joining us today is our expert Professor M.V. Srinivasan.
Namaskar.
Namaskar, sir.
Namaskar.
Thank you so much for coming here.
Thank you.
And also helping us is Naina with sign language interpretation. So today we will discuss the book Exploring Society, India and Beyond for class 6, in which Professor Srinivasan will guide us through the book and help the teachers understand how to use this book innovatively. So sir, welcome, and this is a very exciting new book in consonance with NEP 2020. So please tell us how this book is different in terms of its approach from the previous books, and what is so exciting about this book.
See, thank you Amit for this interactive session, and I also thank CIET and its team for conducting this session. Generally social science textbooks, social science curriculum is seen as a contested terrain all over the world, not only in India, and at times children also see this as social science is something boring, and it's also burdensome with 3-4 books. There are different disciplines, 4 books, 5 books. So
a lot of information.
So they are all information loaded, children have to memorize and so on actually. So the National Education Policy 2020 has come out with some concrete suggestions to deal with this. So this book is attempting to address those issues, and Amit, you know that this book has been published last year, and 1 year teachers all over India are teaching this textbook actually, and I am sure that the thorough research going to the classrooms would help us understand much more about what has happened into the new textbook and so on. But if you look at, if I am given a chance to introduce about this, what is new in this, and last year also we have done a similar sessions in, they are all available in the YouTube, and we will enrich besides those videos. Today also we will share something better, something more about this book. See, one issue that the disciplines, when to introduce disciplines, history, geography, economics, political science, sociology, they are all disciplines in social sciences.
Right.
So the National Education Policy suggested that the interdisciplinary approach may be used for students at the middle stage for classes 6, 7, 8.
Right.
So the disciplines can come in class 9th onwards actually. So keeping in this view, this book has been using this interdisciplinary approach. We will discuss more about this approach. So the first issue that we are not going into the disciplines. That's why if you look at the book title, it's called Exploring Society and Beyond actually, India and Beyond. So the disciplinary approach is the new thing as far as this book is concerned actually. So if you go little, what is new in this book? See, since 1960s NCERT has been developing textbooks, and most of the years it is following the disciplinary approach. Even in the textbooks that are based on the NCF 2005, you had 3 textbooks like Social Political Life and Our Past, and then geography textbook in different themes like earth and our environment, resource and so on actually. So this time what we have been, what we attempted in this new textbook is that we followed thematic approach to organize the content actually. So the thematic approach is something very new in the social science textbook. So what is this thematic approach? Thematic approach is that rather than introducing children to the disciplines, let us identify important ideas, topics, content, event, and then present in the manner understandable to the children depending on their age group actually. So this textbook, this entire theme, which is with entire team, which is developing textbook, they are called curricular area groups. There were many curricular area groups. In the case of social sciences, curricular area group social science is one team, and curricular area group economics. These two teams worked on the textbook. So they found that there are 5 themes. They come out with the 5 themes, and if you look at what are those 5 themes, the first theme is about India and the world, land and people actually. So the second theme, the first theme is basically about talks about the geographical features of the
spread
India.
of the world.
So when we look at what is new when compared with the previous syllabus, so for many decades, for that matter of nearly 5 decades, we introduced geography first to the global, a world level geography actually, the global features of geography. Whereas this textbook is introducing the geographical features from the Indian context. Through India's geography, we are introducing to the children basic concepts of geography. So important geographical features of India you can find in this textbook.
Wonderful.
That's the first idea. So that why we are talking about India, it's also because the children understand the concepts when they are introduced to the local area, local context.
What they see immediately is what.
So rather talking about the world, rather let us talk about the local geography. So that is one feature, important feature. And the second is that tapestry of the past. The title itself may look very different for all of you teachers and students. And if you look at why this tapestry of the past, that the history, we have a very India is one of the countries which is proud of having a longest civilization, one of the largest, oldest civilization in the world actually. So you will find we cannot cover the entire 5,000 years of India's history. So it is rather covering those things. Say a tapestry is something like a screen cloth on the walls, windows and so on. So you can see some of the important snippets of the historical past.
Right.
So we also need a historical past. So rather talking about the entire history in terms of chronologically ancient India, medieval India, modern India, let us look at important snippets of the history, the past, so that we will understand something about the current actually. So that is why the second theme, tapestry, is introduced. The third one is the cultural heritage and knowledge tradition. This is
maybe we can show them the front page of each section.
Yeah. So if you look at the book itself, actually, the first, this is the first chapter. So there are in each theme there are 2-3 chapters. Yeah. So the first chapter is talking about locating places on the earth. And so when you look at the geographical features, when my important take on for students and teachers is that when you are using this particular chapters relating to land and people and so on, please use globe actually. So the globe, like for example the locating places, all the important concepts like the longitude. So if you look at the globe, see if you look at the so the globe is something very interesting tool.
And here we have a very interesting view of the globe also from the North Pole.
Yeah. So I would suggest that please keep the globe in your school, in your classroom, so that we are able to introduce children to the geographical features and in a much better manner, and children also get engaged when you use the globe actually. Okay. So the concepts like longitude, latitude, dateline, the timing. So all those concepts are introduced in the first theme.
Right.
Okay, so this is one issue. So I would say that the globe is also, when we are young, when children were young in classes 3, 4, 5, globe is an important tool used in the classroom for identifying the cities, towns, and important countries, and the countries, the distance between one country to other country, and so on. Actually. Time differences. Yeah. So the time differences, though it is coming in the middle stage, like the 6, 7, 8, they learn much more than that. But I would suggest the students that they should not, they should get exposed to the globe actually. So in fact, I would say that the parents also should keep a globe in your house.
Right.
And it's very important tool for learning about social sciences and particularly geography.
Yeah, and it becomes a part of oneself, the globe.
Yeah.
I have been looking at the globe for all my life, and it still fascinates me. Yeah. Because there's so much on it.
So there are 2 themes, the tapestry of the past and the India and the world, and then there are 3 more themes pertaining to other disciplinary areas. So like for example our cultural heritage and knowledge traditions.
So maybe we can show them the first page of each section.
Yeah. So the thematic
105.
theme C, like if I look at
India's cultural roots.
cultural roots. So you know that the national education policy
You'll have to
2020.
move the book a little up. Yeah.
So if you look at the this particular theme on cultural history, it is also part of the National Education Policy 2020's vision and goals that the children need to be introduced to the India's cultural heritage of the past actually. Okay, so you will find this particular theme is very much interdisciplinary. You can see the history, you can see the geography, you can see the literature, and you can see the religion, the religious issues. So many more things you can you can also see the constitution. Okay, the naming of India, that is Bharat actually. So you will see a truly interdisciplinary content is this particular third theme actually.
And it begins with a very nice quote.
Yeah. So
that which cannot be stolen, that which cannot be confiscated by rulers, that which is not a burden, as it does not weigh anything, that which though it is used only grows every day, that is the greatest wealth of all, the wealth of true knowledge.
Yeah.
And every section, sir, begins with a very interesting quote. For example, there is a quote by Jules Verne about ocean, that ocean covers 7/10 of our planet, and which is also mind-boggling for students to learn that most of the earth is ocean. And he says that though the ocean is a desert, nobody is lonely on it because it's full of life. And then also E.H. Carr's quote about history, that history is not about the past, it is what shapes us, it's what. So these are very thought-provoking quotes which give us an insight and curiosity into the subject.
That's right, Amit. Actually, but teachers, please note that these quotes are all come out from the eminent scholars and writings for the writings, and it should not be used as a tool for frightening the children, helping or forcing them to memorize it. These are quotes that needs to be explained. And even if the children are not understanding it, please don't worry about it actually. These are all quotes that could be understood by the children when they are becoming grown up actually. So this quote is mainly meant for the teachers and parents and see the relevance of the topic actually.
Right.
So this is about the third theme, and the fourth theme that we are all living in Republic of India, a democracy which is governed by the India's constitution, and one of the major issue that how to introduce democracy. See the fourth theme about democracy and governance. So if you look at the children are introduced to the idea of government, different types of government and so on actually. So and for that purpose, if you look at this book, it is not straight away starting with the way government actually. It is starting
with family, community.
Because the what you are seeing today as a republic, it's not the way the societies have governed actually. So if you see that, so we are introducing a sociological theme called family and community.
Right.
That is why I said that this book is trying to provide a interdisciplinary framework where history, geography, economics, political science, sociology, anthropology, they are all coming together to help children to understand the society. The purpose of why we teach social sciences, because we help children to understand the society, how it functions actually. That is the as given in the National Curriculum Framework for School Education. That's the foremost goals of aims of teaching social sciences. Okay. And then, so if you look at this theme, family and community, and about the government, so this theme also has 3-4 chapters, and so from family, from community, and then from the government. For example, there are local governments. So children are very young, we cannot straight away introduce to the central government and state government. That is why this book is attempting to introduce children to the idea of local government, and particularly local government in the urban and rural areas, how it is functioning and what are the important roles. There are many role models. For example, a transgender person is a sarpanch in the rural parts of India. So she is introduced to, the transgender person is introduced. So that is very important feature in this book actually. Okay. Right. So the last theme is about economic life around us. We know that the 70-80 years before, if you look at economists, they said that please don't introduce in the school system. Economics is an abstract idea. But today we are all living in the gamut of markets.
Absolutely.
Children are, from the day they are born, they are grown up, they started going to marketplaces. So economics, if it is not over exaggeration, if you say that economics and economic life, like the markets are pervading our lives.
Absolutely.
So in this life, we have to introduce to the children some of the domains of market, cooperation, how the economic life actually. So what the last theme in this book is about economic life around us. So the team also thought about it, how to introduce economics actually. So children know that their parents are working in different areas, and they are working. The many works are being measured, some of them are not measured actually. So we place before the children what is it called, economic activities. So what is economic activity, what is non-economic activity? Many times we think that for example, in our houses, our mothers, fathers are doing a lot of work actually. Mothers particularly do take care of children, elderly and so on. When a mother is also a working person, it is called double burden. She has to take care of the house and children and the elderly.
Kitchen
and
as well.
Kitchen, and also go to the work and show to the employer that she is contributing productively. So this kind of double burden. So we are introducing to children that when you are learning the concept of economic activity, don't look at only the monetary value and economic activity, and there are many non-monetary activities that are happening in the society. So they have to take into consideration the cognizance of those non-economic activities. They
And
may not
understand the
generate
dignity of all these activities.
So when they see, for example, the many non-economic activities happening in the society, in the community, in their surroundings, they also need to respect. And even economic activities are also there are two chapters in this theme actually. They first talk about economic, non-economic activity, and then classification.
Right.
See, one of the important goals of teaching social sciences for younger children is to develop the spirit of inquiry, how to analyze data, how to, when you are given the evidences or when you are given the facts before you, how to understand the facts, how to convert them into knowledge, how to differentiate facts from the knowledge. For all these purposes, children need to develop analytical abilities. This analysis skills started is available in the different parts of textbook actually. So, for example, when we talk about economic activities, not all the economic activities are same actually. They can be classified, they can be grouped actually. So, for example, one way this book is trying to attempt is that the one way to classify economic activity is that how the goods are produced. How the goods are produced. For example, the primary sector. So whatever you are extracting from the nature, it's called primary sector activity.
Right.
So when you are processing into further, it is secondary activities. And all the activities that are supporting the primary and secondary sector is called service activity. So and these activities are not separate. They are not mutually exclusive. They are also they are interdependent actually.
Right.
So this particular theme on economic life around us and also talks about those interdependency of various sectors actually. And Amit, there is one interesting thing that this book, the same theme of 5 themes, the land and the world, the land and the people, and the tapestry of the past, and the third one is that democracy and governance, and cultural heritage, and economic life around us. All these 5 themes would be there for classes 6, 7, 8.
Okay,
and
so
all the 3 themes are coming
this will be the constant structure.
Constant structure of the middle stage social science curriculum.
Okay.
Based on the National Education Policy 2020.
Okay.
So this is the broad idea. There are 5 themes, and under each theme there are 3-4 chapters, and sometimes we are also not binding the teachers that this is the way you have to organize your teaching activity. You can also think about teaching some other chapters you feel very essential. So the teachers need to take the liberty to organize your classroom activity based on the context in which you are living actually. Okay. And then the issue that this book is very much slightly different from other textbooks, other previous textbooks in other ways also. One of the ways is that the exercises, activities and projects.
Yeah, could we have a look at some exercises?
Yes, yes, yeah. So I can tell you this. This book is not giving detailed account of. Let us look at this page number 24 and 25 actually.
Sure.
If you look at, see, one of the major challenges in India's education system is that the questions and the examination system is promoting rote memorization actually. Even though boards are attempting to reduce that kind of thing, but it's not going up easily actually. So in this book,
habit of many years.
So the recital is something the India's nature of and people who are able to recite, who are able to memorize, have been recognized as a better people, talented people, and this textbook is trying to
break that
stereotyped understanding about assessment,
develop critical thinking abilities.
Yeah, that's right. So if you look at, for example, the page number 24, 25 in this book, there are questions. A lot of application-based questions are introduced to the children.
For example, why do we need symbols and colors in the map?
So children need to think about it actually, why these particular colors are used in the map. See the globe, for example, we know that if you look at, I'll show you, I'll go back to the globe again. And if you look at the colors, if you look at the colors, the ocean color is blue. So there are purposes. The water color is generally shown in the globe in blue color. So there are other reasons also for different colors used.
And then there are generally 4 colors that are used on land, because the combination of 4 colors can help us distinguish each nation from the other.
Yeah, that's the reason. So the color, why the colors are used, then we have to help children to understand those combinations actually. And there are fun flow, like a lot of crosswords. We are all seeing in the children's magazine a lot of crosswords, and we think that they are not part of the school system. But this textbook is attempting to introduce to the crossword puzzles for introducing for familiarizing the concepts actually. So when teachers, when you are using the this is in English. When you are using the Hindi and Urdu in other Indian languages, I am sure that you have to formulate your own crossword puzzles actually, though these squares will be different. So let us not assume that this will be fixed for all other languages also.
Right.
So teachers need to formulate alternative crossword puzzles.
Right.
And there are true-false questions, simple true-false questions. And for example, very interesting question here. Delhi's and Bangalore's latitudes are 29 degree N and 39 degree N. Their longitudes are almost the same, 77 degree E. How much will be the difference in local time between the two cities actually? So this is one example of application-based questions actually. Children have to understand the idea of how the
time is dependent on longitude and not latitude.
So the coordinates, unless they know the coordinates, and so it may be difficult for them. So earlier we used to just memorize it, that what is 82.5 and so on. But this time this book is providing some idea of how to use application skills. So you know that the National Education Policy 2020 is having a framework called learning standards approach. Earlier there was, for example, since 2005, NCERT came out with the idea of learning outcomes, outcome-based education. Though it is one of the, it is not so very new concept, the idea that the outcome-based education is pervading the education system as a whole, not only in India, all over the world.
Right.
And the world is looking for accountability on the part of the teachers and the school system, and teachers and students should know, like teachers and the stakeholders should know why they are teaching so and so topic. Right. And it's also this particular learning standards approach also will help empower the teachers that the see today suddenly when there are no books, we are all become tensed actually. If the teachers are aware about the learning standards, if they know about learning standards, and then they don't have to worry much about the textbook as the only source of learning actually.
Right.
So if
this
they
is just a guide.
It's a guide actually. They can identify, see today we have internet, we have the huge knowledge system is before your mobile phone actually. So if you are knowing about the learning standards, particularly the competencies, curricular goals, and if you are able to evolve the learning outcomes based on these competencies curricular goals, and you yourself organize your teaching activity. You don't have to depend on the textbook actually. So this is the new approach in the National Education Policy 2020.
Great. So one last question, sir, we are almost out of time, and a very fundamental question I want to ask you is, how do students understand the difference between science and social science? Because science is something that is driven by experiments, etc., and suddenly there is this term social science, which is rather confusing, which is a different realm of study. So why is social science science?
So the idea that if you look at for this purpose, you have to see how the social science evolved in the last 200 years. My dear students and parents, Amit, I also wanted to tell you that social science is a very new discipline in the world actually. It's hardly 300 years old.
Right.
Before social science came into being, we were all governed by the religious doctrines actually. They were the ones considered as part of the society and
ordering the
society. The social science is very recently emerged after the Industrial Revolution. The industrial revolution and the scientific advancement that took place during the last 200 years is governing the social sciences actually. So the major difference between the science and social science is that in science you can observe, you can just see, you can replicate the examples, you can replicate the experiments actually, whereas in social science you cannot do that. So you have to observe. So major difference between the science and social science is that children need to be exposed to the observing what is happening in the society, and also you also need to recognize the diversity in the society. It's not that science, for example, if you are experimenting about the water, whether it is in Delhi or in Arunachal Pradesh or in Tamil Nadu or Jammu Kashmir, the experiment will yield same results actually. Whereas the social experiment, if you do it in the different parts of all these three regions, it may result in different ways actually. It is because of the human behaviors. So you also have to, this is because of which social science is becoming contested terrain also, because it results in different outcomes. So we as a teacher need to recognize that the social sciences is about the human behaviors, but it is also possible to see the repetitive structure, and you have to observe, provide opportunities for critical thinking, questioning, and you are also governed by the Indian Constitution actually.
Right.
Okay. In science, there are scientific laws that are there. In case of social sciences, Indian Constitution is the doctrine based on which we can understand the social science actually.
Right.
Okay.
So that's a very good explanation, and thank you so much, sir, for this very engaging discussion. Yeah. And I'm sure we'll continue this
conversation. Thank you, Amit, for giving this opportunity.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All the best, students. Yeah.
So thank you, viewers, for joining us for this session. Thanks a lot to sir and production team and Nana for interpreting it in the sign language. So this was class 6 transformational teaching. You can watch all the other sessions on YouTube as well, and in a couple of days we'll start with transformational teaching for class 4. So until then, keep watching PMA Vidya channels, as also and there is a little bit of information about Balpan ki Kavita, which we can see over here.
क्या आपको भी गीत कविता पढ़ने लिखने और गाने गुनगुनाने में रुचि है? तो आइए शिक्षा मंत्रालय भारत सरकार की एक अनूठी और सराहनीय पहल का हिस्सा बने तथा भारतीय भाषाओं और अंग्रेजी में लोकगीत और कविताएं भेजें। आप दिए गए लिंक पर अपनी रचनाएं अथवा किसी अन्य रचनाकार के गीत और कविताएं भेज सकते हैं। भारतीय भाषा कविता प्रतियोगिता के नियम आदि भी आपको इसी लिंक पर उपलब्ध होंगे।
So that was information about Balpan ki Kavita. Thank you so much for joining us, and join us for more sessions on transformational teaching of class 4 starting from day after tomorrow. Namaskar.